Hello, Data Protection Excellence Network. I bring you exciting news live from Indonesia. We were there on the 10th day of the law being passed, the PDP Bill. And this was interesting because we were actually in a very significant geographical area called the Yogyakarta. Plenty of significance historically, and it was also the first Indonesia Data Privacy and Protection Symposium. And we actually shared the stage with a number of key personnel from the government as well as private sector, and we also shared to about 300 professionals, both from the government as well as in private sector, and we held our inaugural CIPM as well after the symposium. As you can see, my partner Kevin signing off his book, our 99 Data Breaches. So it is all in all a very well received event, and essentially this was also predicated when we actually did our webinar. So if you like to catch the highlights of what's been announced under the PDP law as well as the compare contrast with the GDPR, catch the highlights that we have put up right now on our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. As a Data Protection Excellence Network member, you get access to that. And what's more, the interesting statistics that came up was that 100,000 DPOs are likely to be needed, right? And we've put that up also in our YouTubes in terms of 1 minute shorts here. You can see we have put different themes together, and that not only applies to Indonesia, but also you can see this trend in the region. As you can see, it's already happened in the Philippines, right? We have written articles about it, and we're already seeing the stats bear out and what kind of skill sets. So here in the DPEX network itself, within the forum area, you can see the listings of all these roles. And I mentioned before, people are looking for qualified data protection officers, and they specify the kind of qualifications, certifications they're looking for, right? Especially the big boys. Next, if you're in Malaysia or have operations in Malaysia, we are having a special event having Charles Ng, who is actually a CFO as well as a board member of several companies to share, and also Colonel Sazali from the Cybersecurity Malaysia, speaking of the landscape of data protection and cybersecurity in Malaysia, along with my country manager Benjamin. So don't miss this out. This is coming up on the 4th of November on a webinar. So this is something that we will love to hear questions from you guys. And in fact, we actually have seen the reviews. We are on a committee for reviews for the PDP in Malaysia, and there are going to be some interesting things announcing soon once the thing passes through Parliament. And next, data breach. We're talking to about DPO roundtables. We run through 4 rounds of DPO roundtables in the last 2 months. Hundreds of you have been signed up and asking a lot of questions. And Wendy is going to be conducting this round talking about in the effect to the education sector, right? What does it mean? So if you have missed some of the webinars, and if you're actually in the education sector, this is hot because there's also a major conference coming up as well, right? People are flying in. So we actually also wrote in an article here. What are the things to look out for in a data breach and how do you handle it? And also third-party vendors. So don't miss the article, because even in Indonesia, many of them ask questions. Okay, seems to be the risk has to do with the value chain, and how do we now have assurance from a third party? How do we do due diligence on third party? And what do we look for, right? So in the private education sector, we've seen a very big uptick as well in terms of inquiries with us, and we've been seeing very big operations coming to us asking what can they do, because this is a major business in ASEAN, right? Next, the world is watching for privacy accountability, right? My question is, where are you, right? With the economy opening and a lot of us have done digital transformations, there is a lot of help. We have data protection as a service offerings for both very small businesses, medium, as well as large enterprises, all the way up to Trustmark. So if you'd like to speak to us, just reply to the comments in the social media where you're watching this, or the emails, or in our WhatsApps. Next, if you have not started, go take a look at this particular course we created. It's the practical approach to data protection. Those in Singapore, you actually get funding as well, right? And this is actually under also the SMU, right? So this is something that we conduct very regularly for new DPOs, right? And this is something for everybody in the region. You can take this on. Like I said, those in Singapore do get funding from the government as well. So don't miss that out, because we get a lot of questions, people, how to start and stuff like that, and how do you actually even have a framework. It's not just about bunch of policies you take and copy, or even just doing the data inventory. If you don't have a systematic way of doing it, it's very hard to repeat and also have buy-in from other stakeholders, right? So last 2023, it's going to be a very exciting year, and it's not a lot is happening in the region. So I highly recommend that you upgrade yourself and stay ahead of the game. Like I said, the role of DPO is very hot right now, so certification is key, especially on your CV. And we are happy to tag you guys on LinkedIn and all that. So do tag us, then you also get reciprocal tagging from us as well, and gives you more exposure, right? So we love to empower all of you in our DPEX network, right? We conduct the webinars, we conduct live events, we have articles, we have YouTube videos, we also answer questions. So by all means, take advantage of that. The network is free for the moment, so we'll love to see you guys.